Welcome to my channel Learnovate. In this video, we will going to discuss about the development of the midbrain, the forebrain and the different parts of the forebrain. Previously, we have just discussed about the development of the hindbrain and the development of the myelin and the metencephalon into the pons, medulla and cerebellum. Now, how the development of the midbrain occurred? This development of the mesencephalon, that is a primordium of the midbrain, starts to develop after the development of the hindbrain. Now here you can see this is the cavity of midbrain that will going to differentiate into the mesencephalon, and that mesencephalon that is being derived from the midbrain, this is going to develop into two parts. The alar plates will going to differentiate into the posterior tectum part. That tectum part will going to differentiate into the two colliculi, that is the superior and the inferior colliculi related to the auditory and the visual reflexes. While the anterior part of the midbrain, where the basal plates lie, these basal plates develop into the tegmentum, the crus cerebri and the layer of the grey matter, that is the substantia nigra. Here you can see this is the substantia nigra that divide these crus cerebri from the tegmentum cavity. So this is the development of midbrain that is completed, and the cavity of the midbrain is called as a cerebral aqueduct that is derived from the ventricle, and it is going to connect the third and the fourth ventricle. At the end we can see the structure that is being formed is the posterior tectum, anterior tegmentum, and these are the crus cerebri that are differentiated through the substantia nigra from the other parts of the midbrain. The cavity is the cerebral aqueduct that connects the third and the fourth ventricle. Now at this point here in this diagram we can see that these are the colliculi, that is the tectum part, and anteriorly there will be development of the tegmentum part. So the midbrain development has been completed, that is going to connect the medulla and the spinal cord with the telencephalon or the forebrain. Now coming to the development of the forebrain, how the cavity of forebrain will going to develop into the dyne and the telencephalon. Now lastly, coming to the development of the forebrain. This forebrain will going to differentiate into the medially or the centrally placed diencephalon and the laterally placed cerebral hemisphere, that are the derivatives of telencephalon. Now first we are going to discuss how the diencephalon is formed. The diencephalon having the three major parts: the epithalamus, the thalamus, hypothalamus, while the subthalamus is also a part of diencephalon. These three thalami is going to differentiate and develop around the cavity, and that cavity is called as the third ventricle. This whole part is the diencephalon, in which posterior relation is with the epithalamus, and the thalami and the hypothalamus are related with each other by a sulci, that is a hypothalamic sulci. Then what happens, this thalamus enlarges and contributes to the major part of diencephalon, while the hypothalamus will going to initiate a derivative, that is the hypophysis cerebri, and we will going to discuss the development of the pituitary or the hypophysis cerebri in a separate video. So now what happens, this is the diencephalon that has been formed. These lateral sides, these are the cerebral hemisphere or the telencephalon, will going to enlarge and become the cerebral hemisphere. Now here in this diagram we can see that this is the central developing diencephalon around the cavity of third ventricle, and this diencephalon is related with the third ventricle. While the lateral sides, these are the telencephalon that will going to differentiate into the two large cerebral hemispheres, and these two large cerebral hemispheres are surrounding the cavity, then that cavity is called as the lateral ventricle. So the lateral ventricle are laterally placed and they are surrounded by the cerebral hemisphere, while the telencephalon or the diencephalon is centrally placed and surrounding the third ventricle. Now coming to the development at the superior view, here we can see that this is the roof of the third ventricle that is going to differentiate, and here are the lateral ventricles. The third ventricle is continuous with the two lateral ventricles that are present on the lateral side, and they are covered by the large developing cerebral hemispheres. Now the two cerebral hemispheres, that are the right and the left cerebral hemispheres, are connected by a commissure called as the corpus callosum. That is the largest commissure of the brain. We will going to discuss is further on. Now here in this diagram we can see the largest commissure, that is the corpus callosum, is going to communicate between the two cerebral hemispheres. And this is the lateral section of the cerebrum that having the commissure, the cerebral hemisphere, they are connected by the largest commissure, corpus callosum. Then this diagram here is shown the lateral ventricle having the choroid fissure. What is choroid fissure? It is a layer of pia mater that is having the blood vessels and having the secretion of the CSF that is going to contribute the cavity of the ventricles. Now this comma-shaped structure, this is the developing corpus striatum. This corpus striatum or the basal ganglia having the two nucleus that will differentiate around the lateral ventricle. The two nuclei that are the caudate and the lentiform nuclei will going to communicate with the lateral ventricle and they are surrounding the cavity of the lateral ventricle. In the atlas here you can see this is the caudate nucleus that having the head, the body and the tail of caudate nucleus in the temporal horn of lateral ventricle, and this one is a lentiform nucleus that is present over the region between the thalamus and the caudate nucleus. So this lateral lentiform nucleus is located laterally while the caudate nucleus is located medially. We have discussed the gross anatomy of basal ganglia in a separate video. Here is that is showing the development of the basal ganglia or corpus striatum around the cavity of the lateral ventricle. Now at last, at the week 26, when the development of the cerebrum, telencephalon, hindbrain and midbrain is completed and the development of the corpus striatum has also been take place. Now here you can see this is the final view of the structure of brain, in which we can see this large cavity is the cerebral hemisphere surrounding the diencephalon, and here is this hypophysis cerebri that will going to differentiate into the pituitary gland. This is the cavity that is shown here is the brainstem, the continuation of brainstem and the emergence of the cranial nerves. Now what happens next is this smooth surface of cerebral hemisphere will differentiate into the sulci and the gyri. These are the deeply indented sulci and the swollen part are the gyri, and there here you can see this emerged area that is the insula on the lateral sulci is present. And the lobes are being differentiated into the next phase. We can see at the week 30 here there are the different lobes being differentiated of the cerebrum, that is the frontal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital, and this one is a temporal lobe. Now here inferiorly we can see the connection with the cerebellum, and now this is the brainstem continuous with the spinal cord, and there are the emergence of different cranial and spinal nerves. So guys, this is a complete cerebral hemisphere and the central nervous system being developed at the 30th week. So thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. If you have any query, comment below, like, share and subscribe.